This is your Barbados Today morning news update for Monday, July 15th, 2019. Thanks for joining us. I'm Carol Williams. Despite the recent rains, residents are being told to be on their guard and prepare for really hot temperatures. Health officials say the ongoing global heat wave could cause heat stroke and even death. The issue is so serious that Minister of Health, Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Bostic, says he'll be meeting with his technical team today to come up with a plan.
We can look at it and then we would have to plan exactly how we are going to respond to that. But I could not say at this point in time because it is nothing that we had discussed prior to that the release of that report. But I can assure you that within a day or two, we certainly will have a response because we must.
On another matter, Minister Bostic announced plans to speed up the approval of procedures that would affect pharmacies.
That I have issued only last week some instructions to the staff in the ministry to really shift into a new gear in terms of registrations, both for pharmacists and for pharmacies. The length of time that it takes for things to be approved from the Pharmacy Council to the minister and back is unacceptable. And going forward, we're going to have a new system where the registrations are stamped and sent back, because it is highly unlikely that as Minister of Health I would overturn a decision made by the council, because the council is there to advise me. So we need to do something about the length of time.
Minister Bostic was speaking at the opening of Pharmacy Week at the Barbados Defence Force, the garrison, St. Michael. A warning today that the actions by some residents to isolate themselves from crime could backfire is coming from principal of the Caval campus of the University of the West Indies, Professor Eudin Barito. While noting that safety and security aren't only the concern of middle and upper class neighborhoods, she warned that building more gated communities isn't the answer. Instead, the principal suggests better community services and co-curricular programs for more children before they reach the age of 10. She also wants the private sector to adopt a primary or secondary school over the long term. The Caval principal was addressing the 30th anniversary reunion of the graduating class of the Ellerslie Secondary School of 1989 on the weekend. Great news for Barbados as they made it back-to-back titles, winning the West Indies Rising Stars Under 17 Championship by a mere 2.8 points ahead of Jamaica on the weekend. Barbados and Jamaica entered round 5, 2.9 points apart, sitting in the top 2 spots on the table with the championship title on the line. After 9 overs with the Barbados score on 29 for 1, the rains came, then stopped, then started to fall again. Eventually, the game was called off by match officials. Barbados finished the championship on 17.9 points, 2.8 points ahead of Jamaica.
It's a really good feeling, you know. Also as captain, you know, it's a really good feeling, you know, with the boys, you know. After working really hard, preparing very hard, you know, it's a really good feeling to carry out on the cup, you know, for the people back home, for the supporters, you know, they will love it, you know, and we also love it as well. So you know, it's a really good feeling, you know, in my first as well, you know. It brings a lot of confidence as well going forward into the next year. So I'm just feeling really good right now.
As a captain, how does it feel to win this title?
I mean, I was quite nervous at first. You know, who wouldn't be nervous? You know, and you know, it's a pleasure to represent my country as captain. But you know, the feeling, you know, it must be good.
Congratulations, coach! Second successive title for Barbados under 17s. What does it feel like? What are your thoughts coming out of the championship?
Well, it feels great to see that, you know, maybe we won it for the second time in a row, and it's nice to see the boys really play to their true potential. You know, we didn't get all the games in, but our plans were to win all 5 games to give it that confidence in terms of going forward in the tournament.
Staying with sports, England beat New Zealand to win the Men's World Cup for the first time after one of the most amazing games of cricket ever played was tied twice. In an emotional and electric atmosphere at Lord's, both sides scored 241 in their 50 overs and were level on 15 when they batted for an extra over apiece. It meant England were crowned world champions by virtue of having scored more boundary fours and sixes, 26 to New Zealand's 17 in the entire match. That it even got to that stage was astonishing in itself and came as a result of a barely believable conclusion at the home of cricket, the first tie in a World Cup final.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
In the Bahamas, employees at the Nassau Airport Authority are threatening industrial action. They're claiming they're being victimized and their concerns are being ignored. We get the details from Eyewitness News Report.
There needs to be an awakening at this airport. There are persons here who have been appointed politically who are of the view that the Prime Minister placed them here and nobody could do them anything.
Employees at the Nassau Airport Authority have had enough of what they call blatant disrespect. And according to Bahamas Public Service Union President Kingsley Ferguson, almost 50 staff members have been struggling with a myriad of issues that he says may trigger serious industrial action. Ferguson alleges that the executive team at the airport have ignored employees' pleas.
There are some persons that are working in the area of security who don't have freedom of speech anymore because whatever it is they say, it's interpreted another way and persons are pulled in. We have claims of persons being sexually harassed here at the airport by former police officers. There are concerns of persons who are being taken from the roster as it relates to overtime because they are sick on a particular day.
Ferguson also added that an employee has even received their walking papers due to a misunderstanding via WhatsApp.
And finally, as many as 15 countries in West Africa have agreed to adopt a single currency next year. Experts are divided on the effect it would have on the region's economy, especially in the 8 member states that use the French-backed currency.
There are topics that can both divide and bring West Africans together. Football with the Africa Cup of Nations, how to properly grill a chicken, and money. That's because 15 West African countries have agreed to create and share a single currency called ECHO by next year.
It's a great idea. If we have the same currency, we could be one big country like America. Big and strong, and then we will all be treated as equal.
Already 8 of the 15 countries use the same currency, the African franc or CFA, a legacy of French colonialism. France's central bank acts like a manager, holding part of their treasury to guarantee financial stability. The 7 other nations often deal with inflation and currency volatility, with each of them directing their own monetary policy. Omar Awansi, a graduate student in trade, says he has watched leaders say a common currency is the solution since 1983.
Some are playing defensively, others are being too aggressive and not thinking of the collective. We need to play as a team for this to work and for everybody to win from it, including Senegal.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. And sign up for breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izube Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I'm Carol Williams. Have a good day.